Welcome back to the Coach Mack Show. Huge win Friday night. Got things turned around after last week. Kind of a little down last week. This week, everybody's excited. 41-7. It seemed like up there, I know you've got everything you want to go over, but it seemed like first half kind of back and forth a little bit. Then Devin Jones broke in another huge kickoff return and broke things wide open, it seemed like.
Yeah, the first half really wasn't the way we wanted. We got off to a really slow start, which is something that seemed like we've been doing some this year. And then really at halftime, you know, people come up saying, hey, whatever you said at halftime, you need to keep saying it. And really, there wasn't a lot said at halftime. Coach Russell made a few defensive adjustments. I made a couple of offensive adjustments, really went through our checklist of plays, the things that we thought were working and the things that we thought weren't working. And we really just laid those out to the kids and explained to them these are the things we want to try to do. And we did talk about the opening kickoff to the second half. We wanted to get off to a fast start and everybody do your job and let's see if we can't get a good kickoff. And
well, they did.
Of course, a lot of guys did their job. And, of course, the result was Devin Jones took it back, I believe, 96 yards for a touchdown.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
And so in the second half, we got really rolling. I really think what happened was at halftime, I think a lot of our kids decided maybe on their own that, you know, enough's enough. Let's get to playing some football and let's get after it and let's play fast and start having some fun. And I really think that was pretty much quietly decided amongst themselves that we need to start picking it up. They did. And second half was really good. A bunch of yards the second half on offense. Tyree Savage had another really good game, 14 carries for 83 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5.9 yards a carry. And then we were able to get Andrew Lee 4 carries in the game. A couple of them came later in the game, but Andrew Lee ran 4 times for 38 yards with a 9.5 average.
That's a nice average.
And he had 2 touchdowns, so we were really pleased with that. Trey Harrington threw the ball well. He threw for 50%. And had a touchdown pass to C.J. Maynard. He threw for 114 yards. In receiving, we got the ball spread around pretty good. Curtis Nixon had 3 catches for 44 yards. C.J. Maynard, 3 catches for 20 yards and a touchdown. Scott Birchall had 2 catches for 20 yards. And like we talked about, Devin Jones and his kickoff return, that's back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
Devin Jones has had kickoff returns for touchdown. Punt returns. Kurt Nixon's really doing a much better job of fielding punts. Mm-hmm. That's something we're really working on, something we're really encouraging him to do is to come up and really field all punts. We tell him it's kind of like pedestrians have the right-of-way, and it's punt returners also have the right-of-way. You cannot interfere with them. You can come up. You have the right to the football. So really encouraging him to get that done. As far as first downs, the first down totals, Charlton had we had 16 and they had 5. So that was a good job by the offense of moving the chains. Good job by the defense of only allowing 5 first downs, and I think most of them might have come in the first drive,
for
sure in the first half. And really uncharacteristic for us, we only had 1 penalty for 10 yards.
Yeah, it was pretty quiet on our side.
That's right, and that happened in the first half, and that was a penalty on a wide receiver blocking downfield aggressively. So we were real pleased with that. Our tackle leader for the game was Bradley Todd. Bradley's a senior, number 48, and Bradley does a lot of work for us, a lot of the dirty work for us on special teams. He's on kickoff coverage. He's on kickoff return, one of the front line guys. He's also on punt coverage and PAT field goal. And Bradley had just about every tackle on kickoff coverage, and he had 8 tackles. I think he did have generally every tackle on that. And, of course, later in the game, he went an outside linebacker, and he also gathered up a couple more tackles. So he did a great job there. Again, second half was a lot of fun. A lot of things were working. We were throwing the football around the field. We were getting off great runs. The offensive line was doing a really nice job. Defense was really coming off the football, defensive front. But again, showing the film to the kids today, we still have a lot of things we can improve. Kind of like we've corrected some problems last week, but it's like we always have. Every week we have new problems we have to work on. And this week being open week, it's going to give us a chance to really focus on ourselves this week. And then, of course, next week we'll start focusing on Clinch County.
On Clinch County. Clinch was upset the other. I guess it's an upset. I don't know. Is that an upset anymore with the way Irwin's playing?
Well, not the way Irwin's playing. Irwin's a very, very good football team, and I've had a chance to look at Clinch on film. And Clinch is also a very good football team. Really good athletes, very, very well coached by Coach Jim Dickerson. Does a great job with them. They have a young, inexperienced team, a lot like ourselves. When I looked at Clinch County, I see a lot of us there. I see a lot of inexperience. And the only thing is, I think Clinch County athletically is better than us, but Irwin County is a good football team, a team that has a chance to win this region.
They seem to be reason I know where it's a Charlton County show here, but a Coach Mack show, but at least Irwin seems to be raising some eyebrows. They had a big upset a few weeks ago against a higher classification too.
Yeah, Irwin County's doing they have a new coach, John Lindsay's doing a great job. He came from Camden County as one of their assistants. The run, the wing tee, they're getting a pile of yards each and every game.
Yeah.
So, you know, our last 3 games we have, of course, we have open week this week. The next week we have homecoming versus Clinch County. And our homecoming is not, we don't pick out the pansy or the weak team. We don't do that. We pick out really more than anything, it's the next to the last game. Homecoming is almost always the next to the last game. Last home game is going to be senior night always.
Right.
You work yourself backwards, and then the next home game is always almost going to be homecoming. So I don't want the Clinch County people to think that we're disrespecting them by making them homecoming, because it's not at all homecoming. We played Brunswick High School for homecoming. We've played a lot of big schools, a lot of good schools. It just really happens to fall where it falls on the schedule. That's why we have homecoming for Clinch. But that's going to be a great game. And I couldn't even leave the field Friday night without telling our kids how excited you need to be and how excited I am to compete against Clinch County, because Clinch County's always been that team. When I first got here in '88 as an assistant for 2 years, Clinch County was winning state championships. They had a powerful football team. Just Don Tyson, who was just an incredible, legendary coach in South Georgia, all of Georgia, had a really great program over there, and that's really continued ever since I've been here.
Yeah.
When I became head coach in '90, Clinch County was always the team that you wanted to build your program like, and always the team you wanted to compete against, because I have a lot of respect for especially Coach Dickerson, their head coach, and their football program and their school and their community. And that's really the best way to compliment them, is just saying how much I enjoy competing against them.
Yeah.
And we really look forward to a week from now, when homecoming week.
That's going to be an exciting week. You're probably one of our biggest rivals. Coming to town for homecoming on top of that, so all the celebration and hoopla that comes along with homecoming, and then you got your big rival coming to town as well.
That's right.
So it ought to be a lot of fun. Well, with that, we're going to take a short break, Coach, and we'll be right back on the Coach Mack Show.
The Folkestone Pharmacy, your original hometown pharmacy for over 45 years, is located at 3885 Main Street. At Folkestone Pharmacy, we accept most major insurance coverage, including AARP, WellCare, Medicaid, Amerigroup, and many more. We also have a $1 value aisle for everyday items such as health and beauty, cleaning, and even snacks. Stop by and check us out today. Now, let's go get 'em Indians. United First Federal Credit Union has been a part of Charlton County since 2001 and has been providing great service to our members since 1943. United First now offers mobile banking and email alerts. Mobile banking lets you check your balance from your cell phone, while email alerts notifies you when a significant event happens in your account. Both are easy to set up and are free to United First members. United First helps you afford life. All accounts are federally insured by NCUA.
T&T Building Supply is located about a half-mile past US 1 and the 301 split, north of Folkestone, right next to Taylor Timber Company. They have everything you need for your home improvement projects, with a wide selection of lumber, hardware, millwork, plumbing, and electrical supplies, concrete and masonry, power and hand tools, nails, and roofing supplies. They also have a large selection of mobile home hardware. T&T Building Supply is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sportsnet.
Radio Shack, located at 3885 Main Street, inside the Folkestone Pharmacy, is your local Verizon Wireless authorized agent and Dish Network retailer. Radio Shack carries a variety of computers, tablets, smartphones, and other electronics. The Shack in Folkestone is proud of our student athletes and wishes them the best of luck this season. Now, let's go get 'em Indians.
All right, welcome back to the Coach Mack Show. Coach has got some stats over there, some statistical leaders. I'll get tongue-tied here. Through 7 games, Coach, if you want to go over that and talk about some of our leaders to this point.
Well, coming into open week, it's a good time to kind of reflect on what you've done up until this point. We've been able to play 7 games, 4-3, kind of where I thought we could be. But again, of course, that big disappointing win. I really wasn't sure how the Wilcox game was going to turn out early on, but then losing to Turner was really a disappointing game. But statistically, where we are is Tyree Savage is our leading rusher. You can watch us play and obviously know that. He has 559 yards, 4 touchdowns. He's averaging 5.9 yards a carry.
He's really stepped up in the absence of Will Smith.
He really has. Going into the season, we really thought that him and Caleb Smith were going to be the guys that would be splitting time and then also working Andrew Lee in there. But Tyree Savage has really stepped up, thank goodness, especially since Caleb Smith's been out. And Caleb Smith's finally out of his cast. We hope that Caleb can possibly get back here in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, maybe get something in this his senior year. In passing, I continually think Trey Harrington is getting better each and every week. He's getting better, maybe not as quickly as I would like sometimes, but I'm impatient when it comes to a lot of our players. But Trey is really doing a good job, especially of late. He has completed 53 passes this year for 590 yards, 4 touchdown passes, and also he spread the ball all around the field. We have a lot of guys that have really done a great job. There's really no one receiver that you can look at and say we've got to really focus on this guy. C.J. Maynor is our leading receiver right now with 12 catches, 112 yards, 2 touchdowns. Curtis Nixon's our next leading receiver with 11 catches, 153 yards. He's a little bit more of a deeper threat player with 13.9 yards a carry. We mentioned a little bit about the special teams, but on the defensive side of the ball, we fully expected Brent Wiles to be at the top of the tackle list, and he is. Brent and Ryan Young are at the top of our tackles. Brent has 34.5, with Ryan has 31.5. Those 2 seniors have really led our defense, and those 2 guys have really, to this point, been without a doubt our defensive MVPs. Our 2 guys we've really depended on. They've done a great job. Our next 2 tacklers might be a little bit surprising. We have a sophomore linebacker, Terry Wilson, T.J. Wilson, with 31 tackles. And then also a freshman, Michael Dasher at nose guard. Yeah. And Michael he's got himself 20.5 tackles, but Michael's also leading us in sacks. He has a great takeoff of the ball, really an active, strong player, and he's got 3 sacks so far this year, and he has a chance to be a very, very good player if he continues to get better, which is what we expect. And also TJ, sophomore linebacker TJ Wilson, also leads our team in fumble recoveries with 4. So those are
younger players.
That's right. You look throughout our stats here, and you're going to see a lot of younger players having a lot of really good stats, which means we're getting a lot of young guys involved in the game. A lot of young guys are contributing, which means hopefully hopefully it'll pay off in future games and future years for us.
So that's always nice when you see those young leaders stepping up at the top with Brent and your seniors.
That's right.
Look forward to their junior and senior years.
It's something we really talk to my seniors about it. I mean, just as a senior class, you don't have the ability to win any games by yourself. Right. But with your senior leadership and also a lot of help from all these other classes, whether it be junior, freshmen, or sophomores, we can be successful. And that's what and I think our seniors understand it's going to take more than just their class, just their senior leadership. It's going to take a lot of contributing from other classes.
From the underclassmen stepping up. Coach, I noticed something I haven't seen since early in the season. We're kicking extra points Friday night.
That's right. It's something it's taken us this long to work on it. I mean, we work on it every day. It's of course, we went through a period there where we weren't scoring a lot of touchdowns either, so we didn't have a chance to get out there, and we would go out there and try it. We'd fail miserably. But it's something we've really worked on. Drake Gillis has really worked on it, and it's really finally Friday night we were able to score several touchdowns in a row. Get out there and put that unit on the field and have them go do their job, and they did their job, and I was really pleased with that, and I was really pleased that Drake has finally gotten going. But probably probably the most important person in that whole thing is probably his little brother, freshman Isaac, number 3, all of 95 pounds of it, who's responsible to take care of his older brother's kicking shoe and kicking tee. So that's been a big important to that. So a big shout out to Isaac.
Isaac's in charge of the shoe.
Isaac's in charge of the shoe, which by the way came up missing for 2 weeks.
So,
but Isaac finally found it, so we're back to kicking extra points. So if we're not kicking extra points
against Clinch, we're going to look for Isaac.
That's right. You look for Isaac on the sidelines, number 3. Like I said, all 95 pounds of him or so. And if Isaac doesn't have the shoe, that means he lost it, which means we're going for 2 automatically.
All right, Isaac, you hear that?
That's how we work that.
All right. And you got any other stats, any players you want to feature before we go to another break?
Well, just, the biggest thing is I'm just really, pleased with the guys this last week, really pleased with the offensive line has had a lot of shakeups. We've had a lot of guys we've had to play there. You might have saw last week we have Trent Mahoney had his first start at offensive guard. He's a sophomore, big kid. And then also early in the game, we had Dusty Harper go out there, who's another sophomore. He went out and played the whole game. So, and of course our starting center, Levi Cribb, broke his hand last week in practice. So he was out, so we had a new center. So 3 of our 5 offensive linemen were new Friday night, and I'm really proud of the job they did.
They did a good job.
Yeah, Coach Russ Murray, he really had that group together, a lot of patchwork. So the offensive line is really a bunch of, they're a bunch of tough kids. They don't get a lot of appreciation, don't get a lot of love sometimes. And Coach Murray really works those guys. But I tell you, last week we were really concerned going into the game about that position. But they came through the game. Hopefully we can start getting some of those kids back here this week or 2, and hopefully we'll be more at full strength come Clinch County.
That's the nice thing about having the open week right now with Clinch County coming to town. You get a chance to heal up.
That's right. With our second half Friday night, you'd almost like to really get right back out there and play another game to see if you can keep the momentum going. But that's not the way it works. So hopefully we can stay sharp this week, and then hopefully towards the end of this week, first next week for sure, really get focused on Clinch County.
Oh, Coach, I spoke to you about it earlier before the show. The fourth quarter, we're going to rebroadcast the game if you don't mind. That way everybody can miss that or see that exciting fourth quarter that nobody got to see Friday night.
A lot of kids got to play. A lot of kids got to play well. So, that is, I know a lot of people would really like to see that.
Yeah, so we will be right back with the Coach Mack Show after this message. Hunters and outdoorsmen. With general gun season fast approaching, Gant Hardware and Hunting has everything you need to be ready for the hunt. From game blinds and ladder stands to guns and ammo, camo clothing to insect repellent. They'll get you ready for the woods. Do you have to finish that honey-do list first? Gant Hardware and Hunting has you covered there as well, with hardware supplies to knock out that honey-do list and get you hunting. Gant Hardware and Hunting on 3872 Main Street. They're open Monday through Saturday.
Babcock & Wilcox, a manufacturer of air filtration devices located in Folkestone, Georgia since 1983, is proud to support the Charlton County athletic programs and the Band of Pride. The employees of B&W wish the Indians, Maidens, Braves, and Band of Pride good luck this season.
Okefenokee Rural Electric Membership Corporation offers more than dependable electrical energy at a competitive price. Quality service is provided by a friendly and professional staff trained to meet your every electrical power need, whether residential, commercial, or industrial. If you have any questions or need information, call us at 1-800-262-5131. Okefenokee REMC, owned by those we serve. A proud sponsor of this year's Indian football broadcast.
All right, welcome back to the Coach Mack Show. We have the Indians are open this week, so we're going to talk about, got some games coming up at the lower levels. B team Thursday.
That's right. B team. We're going to be home against Ware County this Thursday. Hopefully, I even think the band is going to be there and
Really?
actually going to perform at halftime, because I believe they have a competition coming up and they want to get on the field. So I think Thursday, not only will you get to see the B team play against Ware County, which should be a very good game, but you hopefully, for the price of admission, you're going to get to see the band perform one more time, which that would be great also. So hopefully we'll have a big crowd out there this Thursday for the B team football game against Ware. Our B team is 4-0. They're playing really well. We do have some kids banged up, so we're hoping we can put it together to continue that streak, hopefully to go 5-0. But really pleased with the job that our B team has done, considering it's not really a group that practices together all week long.
Yeah.
They run a lot of the scout team, and then they get thrown together Thursday to play games, and they've done a really good job. So hopefully everybody will come out this Thursday to watch the B team, and then of course tomorrow, Tuesday finishes up our junior high season, which our Braves are going down to Callahan, Florida, to play them. So hopefully they can finish the season off with some success, and look forward to getting up some of those 8th graders that I've been seeing for next year. So I think there's some kids in the 8th grade group that's going to help us pretty quick, like we did with this year's 9th graders. So look forward to getting those guys. Of course, we've been talking about off the air about the maiden softball team.
Oh, yeah.
What a journey they've had, you know.
It's been something.
It's really been quite a year, being that they had a big senior class a year ago. A lot of very talented freshmen come in, and only 2 seniors this year. So Coach Baxter's just done a great job with that group. I know it's been real. I've watched all their games I could. Like I said, my daughter's on the team, and so we watch as much as I can. And I know they've had a real up and down year, a little bit like our football team, up and down. But of course, they thought they were all finished after the last game, come home and year's over and put everything up, cleaned up their locker room. And lo and behold, they get a message just a few days ago, hey, you're in the playoffs. And so they were finished with softball for 2 weeks. Now they're back out there practicing, getting ready to make the trip Wednesday morning up to Gordon Central, which is somewhere just south of Chattanooga.
Just south of Tennessee.
Yeah, just south of Tennessee. So I know they're excited to be back out there. I had a chance to watch them practice Friday afternoon because we had no school Friday, and I'll tell you what, they really look sharp. There might be something to that, taking 2 weeks
a little
off,
bit of a break, get away from it.
But they
start.
They really look sharp, and I know they're excited about going up and getting to compete against Gordon Lee, the #1 team in the state, the 2-time Class A defending state champions, which I think is going to be really good for those young players and really good for the softball program to get to play 2 more games. So hopefully they can go up there and really compete and have some fun, and you know, miracles do happen. Hey, you know, never know. Maybe they can go up there and get 2 of them and keep on playing. But
that's why you play the game.
That's exactly why you play the game. So we're excited. We're excited for those girls and Coach Baxter and the job that they've been doing all year long. So it's been a lot of fun. So they get a little bit more playing time out of this.
There you go. Second year straight, they're going.
Second year straight. And you know, the whole confusion with the thing was coming down to this power ranking, the points, which in football can be confusing, but I think in softball, and I think we're going to find out in basketball, it can be a real nightmare to try to keep up with everybody's points because you're playing so many games back to back. It's hard to get the calculations done before they're playing another game.
Right.
So hopefully we're going to know a little quicker than 2 weeks out before we're in the playoffs for football. But again, you just never know. I know right now our power ranking is pretty high. It's in the top 5. But, again, that can change pretty quick. And I think we lost to Turner and actually went up.
Yeah, I saw that.
This week we beat Lanier and actually went down. So, you know, I don't know how this thing works out. That's a lot of question marks still with this point system, the power rankings. So I guess biggest thing is after we play Irwin, I guess we just all log on the computer and figure out if we are in, who we're playing, or where we're going, and hopefully we don't have to take the same path the girls are playing all the way up to Chickamauga, Georgia, wherever that is up there. So hopefully we don't have to make that same trip. But you never know.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
that's
you.
Fine.
Irwin may have a little bit of a chip on her shoulder. From what I understand, the maidens and Lanier actually bumped Irwin in this power, well, I say bumped them. The power rankings bumped Irwin.
Yeah.
In the softball, so them coming down to the wire there with football, they might. I don't know if there's any carryover there or not, but
well, I sure hope not. Hopefully, hopefully that don't make them upset and want to get after us. But that's really a strange thing. And again, I'm really talking as though I don't really know what happened or how it happened. But I believe Irwin did make the postseason in a region tournament.
They did.
And by losing in a region tournament, it knocked them out of the state tournament.
That's how I've had it explained to me.
Which we weren't even qualified for the region tournament. Because of that, we got bumped into the state tournament. Now, I'm glad we're in the playoffs, and our girls are in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, proud
they
of
deserve it and all that kind of thing, but I think there's something wrong with that. I mean, whenever you can make the region playoffs and then get knocked out of the state playoffs and be replaced by a team who didn't even make the region playoffs. I'm not understanding this real well, and it's going to take people a lot smarter than me, which there's a lot of those out there, to figure it out and explain it to me when it comes time for football playoffs.
Well, the way that was explained was exactly the way you just said it. Is how it was explained to me. But what surprised me is not because we were right there under Irwin anyway, but Lanier was down. They were down the list, and they jumped in two ahead of them, and that's how that power ranking works out.
I really don't understand that part of it. Football, I think I got a handle on it. Of course, again, it's a little easier because we go, only one a week.
Right.
And you have a chance to really get a grasp on it. Now, in talking to Coach or Coach Workentine and Coach Woods, our basketball coaches, where they're playing 3 games a week.
Yeah.
And then you start throwing in maybe a Christmas tournament here or there. That can be a really mess. And I think you're going to see the same thing come because everyone makes the region playoffs. Everybody makes the region tournament. You start counting that in basketball, I think you're really going to see a mess with basketball, and then also with baseball because again, baseball can play three a week, and it's going to be hard to keep up with everybody's power ranking with that, and it could be the same situation. But I feel pretty confident our baseball team probably win them all and don't have to worry about that.
They're solid. That's a solid group.
So we hope that they don't have to worry about that. But it's been really interesting. I don't know if it's something that's going to last after this year. It's something that they could probably do away with, and a lot of people would be happy. I'm not sure if I like it or don't like it, because I don't know if I understand it enough. And sometimes I think you got to let things play itself out.
Right.
Over maybe over
a little bit
over a course of just a half a year, maybe the full year, and maybe even one more year, and then reevaluate it. But again, I'm not in position to make those calls, so it'd be interesting to see what happens.
All right. Next week, I guess we'll get into Clinch more next week, have a little bit more. I know you'll have a chance to watch some more film on them, and we'll really dig into Clinch County next week.
Yep, homecoming week, got a lot of activities out here for the kids. I think each and every day there's a theme, and I think Monday night at our gym there's a talent show, which is usually pretty entertaining. I encourage everyone to come out and to the talent show on Monday night in the gym. And I think it's going to be a good week. People talk about distractions and so forth. I really don't see it as a lot of distractions. I really the kids get excited about it, and it really all comes out at the end where hopefully we have a great football game and that sort of thing, and have a great week all together.
Hopefully have a huge crowd out there Friday night.
That's right.
Next Friday night. All right, y'all. B Team Thursday right here, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, y'all come out, support the B team. They're undefeated. Ware County, they've already defeated Ware County once too, right?
One time, got Ware County one time in a close game, so this is a rematch. So hopefully
got a rematch. Band of Pride, they have a huge following anyway, so y'all come out and check out the band, check out the B team. And tomorrow, Bethune Braves are on the road down in Callahan.
That's right.
And Wednesday, Maidens are way up north.
Way up north Georgia.
First round state playoffs. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all next week.